Good morning or afternoon, depending on when you're listening to this. I wanted to go over some of the senior seminar assignments, starting with week 1. So, this first lesson, while it is important, is optional. So, if you do have time to go back and do it, I welcome you to. It's just a brainstorm about your own personal values. I would skip the do now and exit ticket because it's not as many points. For week 1, lesson 2, this is really important because it's about your personal statement. So the most important document to put in here is the self-edits. And this is where you would put the personal statement that you have corrected yourself. So it should be pretty clean. You should have proofread it, and you'll put that document here. If you have a chance to go back and do the other parts of the assignment, you can also watch the Google Slides, and you can do the lecture notes on those slides. And I would skip this do now and exit ticket just because, again, that's not as many points. All right, for week 3, the tax transcript is an important document to order because if you are selected for verification, colleges might ask for this document. This is also a document that you can request later. So if you are pressed for time, you can come back and do this later. But if you want to do it, then you would just skip the do now and exit ticket, and you would watch these Google Slides for how to order a tax transcript, and then you would place your order and take a screenshot of that order to submit to the assignment. For the College Opportunity Fund, you'll watch the slides and then just apply to the College Opportunity Fund. It'll take 5 minutes, and it takes a discount off of your tuition. For week 4, the day 1, you'll watch this PowerPoint and then take notes on it. The reason there's a Puentes assignment is that if you do not have a social security number, you will not be eligible for FAFSA, but you will be eligible for a special scholarship called Puentes. So if you do not have a social security number, you will do the Puentes assignment. If you do have a social security number, you will watch the PowerPoint and take notes. If you have a social security number, you'll also take the quiz, which is a Google form. It's open note. You can take as much time as you need. If you do not have a social security number, you will do week 4, lesson 2, and there's a Google Doc to fill out here. For week 5, if you do have a social security number, you'll watch these Google Slides, and there's a video in there that demonstrates how to fill out the FAFSA form. And you can skip the do now and exit ticket, those aren't as many points, and just do the FAFSA demo questions, which are questions on the video. If you do not have a social security number, you will do week 5, lesson 1. And then everyone will do week 5, lesson 2. So week 5, lesson 2 helps you practice your financial aid application. So the important thing about this form, when you click on it, is that it's going to ask you to enter an email address and your name. And then you go ahead and get started. It does not matter what email address you use. And when you finish the form, I will get an email notification that you finished. The FAFSA form is first, so if you do have a social security number, you will fill that out, and then you will stop when you get to the asset form, because the asset form is only for students who do not have a social security number. If you do not have a social security number, you will skip the FAFSA form and just start filling out when it says asset. For week 6, you're going to submit a Google Doc that explains what you worked on for college and career. So since you're doing this as makeup, anytime that there's a document like this, you just need to make sure that every time you're writing something different. Because, for example, there's a couple of assignments like week 6, 7, and 8 where I'm asking for progress reports. You need to make sure that you've been working on something different for each of those. So maybe one of those you've been working on your Common App. Maybe another one of those you've been finishing FAFSA. The important thing is that for each of these assignments, you tell me something different that you're working on. For week 6, day 2, I'm asking you to take this financial aid survey. So click on that Google form. And then I'm asking you to submit a screenshot of where you are in the application. For week 7, I was asking you to do another Google form. And then I was asking you to submit your financial aid application and to screenshot the last page. So you may not be able to go back and do this assignment until you're done. For week 7, there's a Google Doc to fill out and a Google form as well. So you do the Google form first. And then in this Google Doc, you tell me what you've been working on. For week 8, everything's all in one document. And it's a similar progress report. So you do the do now, tell me what you're working on, and do the exit ticket. Week 8, there's a Google Form survey. And very similar to day 1, tell me what you've been working on, and do the exit ticket. Week 9, day 1 is very important. It tells you how to log back on to your financial aid application and see A, whether it has processed, and B, if you have a student aid report. So a student aid report details what financial aid you are eligible for. And so I'm asking you to log back into your financial aid and tell me if you have that report. The important thing is that you need to complete this assignment even if you have not finished your financial aid application, because then you can actually tell me in this document that you're not done yet. For week 9, day 2, we went back and did some revisions on our personal statements. So you view these Google Slides and complete the Google Doc. For week 10, day 1, we introduced scholarships, and so you will view the Google Slides and you will complete the Google Doc. This template is a place where you can track your scholarship applications, and so you can make a copy of this for yourself and hold on to it. For week 10, we talked about verification, which is when you are done with your financial aid applications. Sometimes colleges will continue to ask you for more documents. And so this PDF explains what that means, and you'll need to read this and answer the questions in the Google Doc. For week 11, we had some Google Slides that talked about the college application process. And then there's a Google Doc that you'll need to fill out. For week 11, day 2, we have a lesson that's been posted by our career advisor that will help you with resumes. So you'll watch the video and complete the Google Doc. The copy of resume template is a resume that's an example that you can look at. And then these are just action verbs that you can use within your resume. Finally, at the very top, we had a bunch of documents that I had requested at the beginning of senior seminar. And that's why it's called senior seminar pre-work. So if you have time, once you've made up other assignments, you can come back and do this. So there's a couple of different things here. There's a family intake form, which is your family information. There's a student intake form, which is your personal information, your parent email address, your draft of your personal statement, a screenshot of your Naviance College list, and then this is where you tell me who you've requested your letters of recommendation from. And these are all just important pieces of the application process. So that concludes the overview of our assignments. If you have questions, please let me know.